It is on. Okay, perfect. So just complete transparency. We're going to talk about inviting. I know many of you are not on this call live tonight because life and kids and school and all of it. And I literally almost posted, I was like, I'm not doing the call tonight. I don't feel like doing it. But here's the thing. You guys rely on me to be a leader. You rely on me to show up. And my customers and my clients, they rely on me to show up. So on the days you don't want to do it, you have to think about all those people that are depending on you to do it anyway, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like, oh, look at me, I'm doing all the things, I'm succeeding as a mom and a teacher. And it doesn't have to be all that. It can be the real and honest, but we have to show up. And especially right now, and I know I keep saying this, but this pandemic has just gotten crazier and crazier and crazier with the amount of stress that I'm going to say women are under. Many of us work full time. Many of us have children that are in school and they're home. Pretty much everybody's home. There's some that are going. We feel like we have to do it all and take it all on and be like the rock star Wonder Woman person in our family, and that's just not true. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that for our kids. We don't have to be someone that's like just keeps taking it and doesn't like release and talk about it. So these vital behaviors, guys, most importantly, the taking care of yourself and being a product of the product and personal development, you cannot skip. Even if you like, I don't want you to do this, but if you feel like you have to do this, to say, hey, I need to take 5 for a couple weeks, get my life together, and then I'll come back to actively pursuing the business. I understand that, but you can't let those other things drop off. Remember why you started in the first place was to take control of your health and your mindset and those kinds of things. So even if the wheels fall off, you gotta stick to those 2 things. And I'm going to run, and everyone is invited to add people. Probably going to do it the last week of this month, so that gives us the rest of this week, the following week to invite, is a free like 5-day morning routine type of group. I get a lot of questions because every morning on Instagram, I show up and I show that I do a picture of my Energize, I have my journal, I sometimes share my affirmations that I write, and then I do my workout. And people expect that from me. And when I don't, they're like, where are you at? You know what I mean? Like, but so many people don't have that routine in their life and they don't know how to create it. They just don't understand that even giving themselves a half an hour earlier in the morning, what it can do by getting their mind right to head into this office. Like if I didn't feel good, what was it, yesterday? I've been dealing with this head cold for like 4 weeks. I finally got new medicine. It's working, but it like started moving stuff. So I was up coughing all Monday night. I had my 6 a.m. crew. I messaged them. I was like, look guys, I can't be on at 6. But at 6:30, I got up and I came down here and worked out, because I know for me, if I don't take care of me first, I am of no use to these guys. But I didn't understand that at first. Like before I had a morning routine, I didn't understand that. Like the amount of stress that happens once I walk into this office on the 2 days a week that I'm home, it's already heightened, but I try not to show my kids that, right? Because my kids are very, I think Wyatt's like going to be an empath. I think he just feels me and he knows what's happening. So if I show up all stressed out, it just sets them for the day. And I think parents don't understand how their vibrations we're putting off onto their kids, and how teachers, my God, the stress that you guys are under, if you don't take a second, get your mind right to help deal with your own children, but then come on and teach other children, people are going to crumble. We're already seeing depression numbers go up before school started, right? Unfortunately, worse, suicides. social media driving people. Watch The Social Dilemma. I started it today. I got 45 minutes in and then stopped. Watch it, especially if you have kids that are on social. We know what it does, but it makes me stop and think. I want to put a rule in 8 p.m. and phone goes away. If my work isn't done by 8 p.m., too bad. It's got to get put away, because this thing causes problems too. So we got to help people get their mind right. So I'm giving you something to invite to, and it's free, right? Especially if you're trying to just get your footing on talking to people about fitness and nutrition. I've used free groups for years. I know Shannon's done, and we usually do a clean eating group, so we could even roll that. But this one, I think right now, people might not jump on board first, and maybe we just do it monthly. But I think women primarily are starting to understand, I've got to take care of my mind. I have got to take care of my mind and heart first. So I will get you the information on that. It'll just be on Facebook. It's just giving them tips and tricks, and each of us could come in, if you're willing, and share what your routine is. Like, for example, Michelle works overnight. So what does her routine look like differently, but she's taking care of herself at some point during that time? Because I know we have some police officers and some nurses that work weird shifts. So it's giving them, so they can't say, oh, and Michelle, that's a great way for you to invite to this too. You can do some different messaging is, I work nights, so 4 days a week, my schedule looks different. Here's how I do it, and here's what I'm doing to make myself right. So just think of different ways that you can invite to that. And inviting as a whole, right? And I was listening to a training by Micah Folsom today. It was an old one, so some of those things aren't true anymore, but we all struggle for the most part of being anxious and nervous about inviting someone to join us, right? We're just asking in a nice, kind way. After we've had conversations, I've got a new group starting. Are you interested? Is that something you're interested in? If we keep inviting this negative emotion, then it's going to make it even harder to do. We have to flip it and say, inviting someone today could potentially be the first day that they change their life. Like, do you understand what I mean? Like, if we put a negative focus on it, then we're never going to do it. And then when we do it, we're going to like half-ass it. And it might not be as genuine as is, wow, they may say no, but in my heart, I have to ask them to join me because I know what it can do for them. And then just go do it. Do it first. Like, if you're a morning person, take care of you. Do inviting before you go and make connections on Instagram. You start following accounts, you start responding to other things. Do the invites, because you already have your list of people that you want to invite for that day, pretty much, right? As you're going through. And remember, if you're a new coach, make a list of 100 people. 100 people that you know, friends, family, your hairdresser, the dentist, the mailman, like anybody that you can think of, you know their name, and you start with those 100 people. You get more confident, you get people joining you, you feel better talking about the products and the opportunity, and then you can start shifting to cold market, which is pretty much Instagram, but focus on them. Get that, feel good and comfortable about that, and then go to Instagram and start creating connections. But don't you dare go to Instagram first and start scrolling and looking like, oh, should I follow her, and then get lost for 20 minutes. Like, do your invites first. There's a great book. It's called Eat That Frog. I want to say Brian Tracy. And you always do, if there's something in your day that you hate and you don't like to do, you have to do it first. Because it doesn't happen. For example, working out, if I don't do it first thing in the morning, it doesn't happen because of life. So think about that and prioritize your day with invite first. And I want to show you, sorry, this cough thing keeps coming back. Shannon made a good point to share the business activity tracker with you guys. You don't have to use the actual PDF. Maybe you write it in your journal so you don't have all these pages, but I want to share my screen. Because the business activity tracker literally plans your day for you, and it gives you estimates of time of where you should be spending your time. Okay, so let me share it. It's available in the coach office, and I think we have a PDF in the team page, but I will put it back. I'll put another one up. think this is the screen. All right. Where'd you go? There you are. All right. So this is what you call the business activity tracker, or the BAT, right? It's an incredible reminder. I know a lot of people have created notebooks. For me, I'm bad at like having paper. So, and I'm gonna be honest, I need to recommit to doing the tracker every day. And maybe we'll just run a contest. If you show your tracker for over the next 2 weeks and everything's done, you'll get entered in for some type of drawing, because it gives a habit, it creates a habit. But it's showing you have to write your why over and over again, because when things go bad and people say no, or someone you feel like is judging you, you can come back to this and say, doesn't matter about them, I'm gonna go do me. And then remember your target market. For me, 20-somethings with no kids are not my target. It's just not. 5 years ago, I was a little closer to 20 to the 20s, but I'm 30s. A lot of my target market's older than me. They have older children and they're older women. So what that tells me is, Marcy, I have to start learning about menopause. I have to start learning about hormones, because that's where my target market, who's drawn to me and where I will be entering soon, is I have to start shifting and learning new things to stay relevant with that group, right? So if you're a new mom in early 30s, that's your target, new moms. Like Shannon still gets new moms because she's got a brand new baby, right? So think about your market. Men, I think Tim has a great understanding of his target market, and he kills it and he goes after them, but he knows who he needs to be talking to. All right. So be proof the products work. Guys, it's the easiest one. And you have to share this. You can work out and drink your shake and drink your Energize and Recover or whatever supplements you use every day, but if you're not sharing that, no one's gonna know. You don't have to do a post about your workout every day. When I was a new coach, I shared my workouts a lot. So people kept saying like, oh, what is she doing? Now, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, this is a perfect place for this. If you're not familiar, go check out my stories. Shannon and Michelle do a great job. We know Shannon's the master of drinking and then talking and not swallowing. But she's incorporating it in. She's showing her kids shaking up her Energize every morning. I take a picture of it with my journal. And then I cheers the camera. Michelle always has like a pretty picture of it set up with something in a nice glass. Like, it's just our aesthetic, how we all do it differently, but we're showing it, and we come in and we talk about our workout after. 4 slides, 4 15-minute segments. And then if there's something that really stuck out to me in my workout, like I had a mental breakthrough or a physical breakthrough, I clip my video and then I write a post about it. I don't just kind of throw up the video of the workout. I'll say like, wow, this was a new move I've never tried, especially in MBF. Try doing this next time, and I try to like tell them what it is. Or I beat my AMREPs. AMREPs are a great way to talk about it. EMOMs, because a lot of people don't know what those are. So think of interesting ways that you could do that. And maybe you say, all right, twice a week I'm going to share a video snap in my feed. But then the other days I'm going to do other content. So prove the products work. Connect, invite, follow up. Look, this says an hour and 40, but check this out. It's broken up into segments. So for working moms, dads, whoever, you can do this at your lunch break. You could hustle really hard on lunch break. You could do a little bit in the morning. You could do a little bit in the lunch break. When you get some time at home, maybe as dinner's cooking and kids are doing their thing, you can come in and do something real quick. Or maybe it's before you go to bed. But you gotta do it, right? And I would come down here and I would do this first. I don't know why this isn't at the top of the page. Invite, because you've already thought about the people. In theory, we're thinking about the people we want to invite ahead of time. We have a list. We have a list of names. So you could say, all right, tomorrow morning, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work out. I'm going to do that. I'm going to send these invites. And you probably are starting to get an idea of how you're inviting, what language is working for you. And they have to play with it. But do that first. You can invite 10 people in literally 5 minutes. Here's the key. If you're a busy day, don't you dare sit and wait for those messages to come back. You don't have to answer them immediately. You can schedule that for lunchtime. Okay, so it's easy, and I do this. I'll invite, and then people will write me back immediately, and I feel like I have to respond immediately. You don't have to respond immediately, right? So just say, sometimes I'll say, hey, I'm running into a meeting. Can I catch up with you a little bit? And they're like, oh yeah, fine, that's fine. You know what I mean? So just be honest. And then you could go here, go back to your post from yesterday, look at your new likes and comments. That's where you're starting your connections, your conversations. This IG piece for me rolls up into my workout section. And then I also do something from work, or like with the kids at home, I'm talking. When I get home, I'm making dinner, I'm talking about something. It's the real me. Like today, I didn't realize I had a pretzel stuck to my shirt. And I did like four IG stories, and I was talking about makeup. So when I went back, I just commented, I'm like, I'm not your business beauty person. Like, I'm a hot mess, but it is what it is. So I'm just real. And then a post. I know this is a little out of order, but this is how I would prioritize them. We used to say, you've got to post 3 to 5 times a day, like on Instagram and Facebook. That's just the way it was. But data, and when you watch the Social Dilemma, there's a lot of data that goes into it. If you come up with one really good post that has something to do with, it's a business post, right? Sometimes I'll ask, like today I asked for recommendations, or I share a meme, or it's something funny. But I really try to sit down and think about what a post that will make someone think I relate to her, or wow, I need to be doing what she's doing, or it just makes them feel good, right? It's a feel good. They can relate, I make them feel good. It's just funny. It's a quote that I like, something like that. And it's really good. Like my post is a little longer. It's a little bit more thought out. And for me, I found that my time when people are engaging with me is like 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's all older women who have kids that when they go to bed, they scroll social. I can see that in my insights. So I try to post at that point. I think about that post all day. Sometimes I write it early and then I'll come back to it. But I also, I have a social media plan. I use my Chic Influencer Planner. You don't have to have a pretty planner, but I know what I'm talking about each week. So that's 5 minutes. Like that says 10 minutes. You could do that in 5 minutes. And then go to do all the fun things like initiate connections, add followers. You do not do that first, guys. That does not grow your business. And you need to think of them as, what do they call them, Shannon? Chic Influencer. Business, income producing activities. That's what it is.
Yeah.
When you're short on time, your income producing activity has got to come first. And income producing is inviting. It's inviting. All the other stuff, if I don't get to adding new followers today, okay, I'll add more tomorrow, right? Like you've got to prioritize. And then here in the second section, get people results. This is you checking in with your challengers. Even if you've dropped people into mine or Shannon's groups, or you have your own, you got to be in there. You've got to be loving on them. You've got to be texting or messaging or emailing them outside of it, because they know they don't feel like they get lost. Like my group has 200. It's a lot of people that are not active, but I know who my active ones are, and I'm in there and I'm loving on them. I'm emailing or I'm messaging them. And then I go through and I'm like, well, they haven't posted in a while. And I send them a message. They're just not my priority, honestly. But I'm still talking to them. And then like you see in our team page, we're recognizing achievement of ourselves, of our coaches, our clients. Transformation Tuesdays are a great way to do that on social. Ask them if you can share their story. And then as you grow your business, then you start kind of focusing on the team. I don't want you to think team, like growing, like talking one-on-one with coaches. Like I'm at a point where I really spend a lot of my time helping Shannon and Michelle kind of work through what they need to work through. And I think Shannon's getting to a point where she's starting to work through with the coaches on the team. But don't make that a priority. Like, don't think you gotta, oh, I gotta create all these graphics, I gotta do all that. Like, don't do that yet. Build your customer base, then add your coaches, and then we talk about the team leadership later, okay? And then personal development, the most important thing you can do for yourself every single day, right? That's not a lot when you break it up. So what is that, 15, 45, an hour 40, and then your workout, most 30 minutes. So I just do I do a lot of my stuff in the morning. I'm just better in the morning. I do a lot of my coach work in the afternoon because my brain's a little bit more creative then. But this is my schedule. And you can literally go through and check it, right? They've even made the PDF editable. So if you'd rather using it here, I wish it was an app to make our lives easier, but you can click and then you just save it down. And then they also have Tracker, Shakeology. So these are your people that are on auto ship, helps you keep track of them, and you can then pitch them for discount coach, maybe a working coach. I got a great idea from another coach that I want to roll out is for customers that stay on auto ship, because there's some that just don't want to be the discount. If they're on for like 3 months, they get a level 1 tier prize. If they're on for 6 months. So it's just an extra incentive for them to keep it, because guys, you're making income, right? That's you're making the retail, and then eventually they'll become a coach and you become the residual income. And it's just fun to recognize them for caring and wanting to better their health every day. So I need to, that's going to be in October. I'm going to roll that out in my challenge group page. But then here's some questions you can ask about Shakeology. I think some of us are scared to talk about it because we've been told it's too expensive, it doesn't work, I like to eat food. You've heard it all. So this is what you can do after, especially when they buy a challenge pack, because they're like, oh, I'll just get it because it's cheap. This is how you keep them on. What, you don't like the flavor? Okay, we can change it. Oh, you didn't like the way it was mixed? Try this. You've got to check in with them because they'll cancel it real quick. And then there's more tips. So inviting, we overcomplicate it. Let me stop my share. You can find that business activity tracker in the coach office if you can't lose it there. My friend's texting me IG questions. Or I'm going to post the PDF here. Print it out at least to start and then use it. And guys, you know when you're checkboxing, it makes life easier. Go back and watch Shannon's videos about inviting and how she does it. She does it really well. She takes the emotion out. She just takes it all. She just does it. She's just a machine because she's trained herself to be a machine when she's inviting. And that's how you move your business forward. So I think you have to sit and think, like, what do I want my business to look like? Do I just want to cover my own costs? Awesome. Then maybe your invites in a month are like 5 a day. 5 a day, 5 days a week. Maybe you can give yourself the weekends off. It depends on your goal. If your goal is to become a 5-star diamond coach by next year, you can't send 5 invites, right? You've got to be sending 100 invites. You got to be asking people to coach constantly. You've got to be growing as a leader. So you got to kind of scale. And guys, you don't have to figure that out on your own. Ask your coach for a one-on-one call and say, here's what I think I want to do. And we can help you figure out the number of invites, where you're getting stuck. I think it's cool to send your invites. Like at the start of this call, before I hit record, Michelle asked a question about the free customers and what does Shannon say to them to get them, to email back. So they can share their script. They can share their tips, and we do that in the team too. But for you, maybe you're hesitant to say something, and we're like, just try it this way. So you're not alone. You're not alone. All right. Good. Bye, Michelle. See ya. I know you got to go. She's going to work, right? She wants to build a business, so maybe she doesn't have to work as many nights. So she's on this call in the car to her job. And then she's up first thing in the morning doing all of her stuff before she goes and takes care of her 2-year-old. And her husband goes off to work for the police. department. So her goals are different, right? And I'm not saying that your goals have to be that way or that you have to work. She's just ready to hustle. I am ready to hustle because this shit is a lot. And I feel like I can't be the best at work. I can't be the best at home. I can't be the best for myself. So something's got to give. And I've got to make some money to bridge that gap on the income so I can say, you know what, guys, I need to pull back from work so I can be here and do this stuff. And I know it's not going to last forever, but my why is all about those two boys and what I want our life to look like after all this and down the road. So I just always keep going back. That's why I showed up tonight. If I don't show up for you, you won't show up for yourself. You won't show up for your customer. And then your family, like it's a whole domino effect. That's it on inviting. Shannon, do you have stuff to add? I know you're in the middle of putting kids.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, yeah, I think definitely it's good to start with it first during the, get it over with almost. Because I mean, even for me, it's something like, oh shoot, I haven't invited yet today. It's something I make sure that I need to do every day because that's how you get people to sign up, you know? I think people struggle with who to invite sometimes, and that's why you want to keep an ongoing list. You definitely, if you haven't been doing that, I didn't used to do all these trackers. I just recently started doing the tracker, but one thing I always did was I always made a list each month. And if somebody said no this month, then I'd invite them next month. And I told Tim the other day, something I say to people too. So let's say you invited somebody this month and they're like, no, I'm just not ready right now. I actually will message them the first week of next month and I say, hey, just wanted to update you because I know you had some interest. Just wanted to update you on this. This is what's going on this month. So there might be a sale, there might be a new program. Like next month, we've got the running program. So whatever's going on, there's always something you could tell them. Heck, pumpkin spice. If you have any interest, I mean, you can throw anything in there, but that's something I do for, and you can, honestly, you could do that for anybody. I can comfortably do that for anybody who ever had any interest at all. I can say, hey, I know you had some interest in the past. And I say that to people also. I say that's also people when, you know, you haven't heard from them in a while. When you have that person that you're talking to and they think they're going to join and then they just go ghost on you. A few months later, I'll just message them. And I usually, in that situation, I wait for a sale and I'll say, hey, I know you had some interest in this in blah, blah, blah. And I just wanted to update you. There is a sale this month. If you still had interest in joining, let me know. And just let me know either ways. Because I want them to tell me, no, I'm not interested anymore. I did this. But I do have people message me back and let me know one way or another. And sometimes you get them to sign up because you get them with a sale, but you're also in a way not feeling like you're bugging them because you're telling them, hey, there's a sale, and they appreciate it, you know. And sometimes they'll just say, no, I'm not ready yet. But
yeah, value add. Yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said I take the emotion out of it. I 100% do. I 100% take the emotion out of it. I'm just trying to make them aware of what's going on, and I'm trying to reach out to help them because some of these people who like you've been talking to for a year and like they're like dragging you along, you think they're going to join. When they finally do, it's been magical for them.
Yeah.
And it's so rewarding to know how much you've helped them and changed their life. And they wish they would have done it sooner, you know? And, you know, you just are trying to give them that push to commit. And whatever is going on, you know, it's just an excuse that they're making. And I talk about excuses all the time, you know, because you're going to try to tell me an excuse. Like, come on now. Like, I just don't want to hear it. But,
well, I like how you've been taking those objections and making them public, but by not calling out a person, but putting it into perspective. Like you just said, like it's okay because you're going to get time, you're going to get money, you're going to get, those don't work. Those are the basic ones.
Mm-hmm.
Use it as a teaching point. Like in your social, it's a beautiful post to make. because
Mm-hmm.
somebody's sitting on the fence and they're like, you know what, they're right. Like, she's right. I do have time. And then they come back. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely use those objections.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, these little insignificant things that you do daily, they make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Adding followers. When I add followers, there's always one of them who's watching my story. Then I can thank that person. I do my post every day. I haven't done it yet today, but I will do it. I promise you I will post something tonight. Every once in a while I have something funny on Instagram and it doesn't let me post it there. So I don't know. It's so friggin' annoying because I want to put it in my story. But anyways, regardless, if you have a post, you know, it doesn't always have to be directly related to, you know, call to action and getting people to sign up.
Yeah.
But I try to swing it in some way about what I'm doing, but some days not necessarily. But you can thank people for your support, you know, and I will send every night, I will send probably 10 different people a message that says, thank you for your support on my stories and my stories / post, because I don't look to see which one I'm thanking them for, to be honest with you. It's literally a copy and paste. I'm not even gonna lie. And thank you for your support, because they've either liked my story or not liked my story, liked my post or watched my story. And if it's somebody who I've seen, I don't want to hit them if it's the first time somebody watched a story, you know,
Right.
But I will thank them and I'll just say, I hope you're doing well, that kind of thing. Or how are you doing? If it's somebody who has liked a lot of posts, I will say, thank you for your support of my story / posts. Hope you're doing well. And I'll say, is this something you would be interested in learning more about? And that's what I say. And some people say no. Some people say, you're so inspiring, blah, blah, blah. And they are like, yeah, send me information, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they're waiting for you to do something about it. And if you just thank them and start them out with that, that's something, you're creating a connection right there. And if you don't feel comfortable inviting them right away, because maybe they just started viewing, just say, how are you doing? And just start talking to them, you know? And I mean, that has made a huge difference for me. You know, people that you have sitting in your group already, don't forget about the completion packs too. But I mean, some of those people, you're sitting there knowing they could be a coach. I've done something in my group every once in a while, maybe once a month, where I challenge them to post when they're I have a prize, and I challenge them to post on their Facebook page about how good they're feeling, etc. Something about since they joined, and tag me in it. And if you put a transformation photo in there, and it doesn't have to be like in a sports bra and shorts or whatever, it can just be, you know, your face even. But if you put a transformation photo in there, then you get you get two things in the, I can't even think of it, what I'm trying to say.
No, I know what you mean.
You get two chances to win, I guess you could say, instead of one. I can't even think of it. But the point is, what that does is, you know, I send the prize to somebody. Maybe they haven't tried shakes and performance or whatever. I send them a whole bunch of samples. So that's a win there. But they realize how much feedback they get from posting it on Facebook. And then some of them have come back and wanted to coach. I've had people join to coach that I already have.
People are like, wow, what are you doing? I want to do it.
And if not, if they have no interest, then their friend signs up, right? Because their friend sees their post. But also, when their friend wants to sign up, the first thing I say to them, hey, you sure you don't want to become a coach, and put them under you? So, you know, that's another way to do it too. But I've had a lot of luck with the stories. But, you know, I know you guys see us talking in our story, and I didn't used to do it because I always wondered why people talked in their story. I was like, who are you talking to? Like, honestly. And I think it's kind of fun because I don't really have a lot of people to talk to all day. So, you know, I don't mind talking to myself. I like watching my own story. I go back through the
I do
day
too.
and watch.
I
See?
learn from it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, but it's honestly, it's so easy to talk in your story. It's fast.
Yeah.
And you can accomplish so much by doing that. And you can invite people and you can tell them about stuff, you know. But I do try to, not always, but I try to type out the important things of what I'm saying or just what I'm talking about, because a lot of people watch stories. It was like 80% of people watch stories on mute. So, okay.
Yeah, if I've got something real, like if I'm talking about a group or a product, I definitely call out in the text. If I'm just kind of rambling about, if I'm complaining or just rambling, I'm like, I don't feel like doing text on this one. I don't, but like she said, like the main point, like sale or
Right.
starting Monday or something.
Yeah, no, definitely. That I try to put some of those blast words out as well. But I mean, stories have helped, I think, a lot, and thanking people. Those are things I've changed. But the sheet with doing, Marcy was saying that the adding the followers, the connecting with the followers, those are the easy things. And those are kind of fun. You know, those I'll sit down and do at night. I try to leave those later or just whenever I get them in. My organization with this is not great. I'm not gonna lie, but because I have the sheet, I know I do it.
Right.
And I want to do it every day right now. Like, and I want to try to do everything. So, you don't have to. You could set a goal that, okay, I'm going to add 5 followers a day. I'm going to connect with this many, you know, or heck, you could do it 4 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could be like, okay, I'm going to fill the columns 4 days a week. So that way you have your other days. But some of these things are so easy. And if you're adding followers, think about how many followers, if you add 5 followers a day on Facebook and Instagram, think about how over a year, what that adds up to. So you've got to look at the big picture, because it seems like no big deal if you don't add any today. But then if you keep doing that, you'll turn around and be in the same place. And people can't see what you're doing. So I can't believe how many times I go to add friends on Facebook and I'm like, how am I not friends with this person already?
Yeah.
So you just have to kind of go through. I always look at see how many mutual friends they have. And I look really quick. I just want to make sure they're not a coach, you know, that kind of thing. Or something that just isn't gonna, you know, help me really.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, so I mean but connecting with the followers, I mean, I can't tell you, like yesterday I saw a post that she was proud of herself for running so many days, and I saw her post and I commented on that, and then I shot her a message right away and I said, hey, we got a sample workout of this.
Yeah.
I didn't even wait, you know, I didn't even wait until she responded to what I typed on her thing, because I said, hey, I saw your post today. So I knew it would go with what she's saying. So I'm just trying to create connections, but I will say I'm trying to create connections I try to end with a question. I do that a lot. Not every single time, but I do it a lot. Most of the time I try to end with a question so that they get a response. Even if it's not has anything to do with working out, but just so they get a response. And I mean, I do one of the people that I do aim for, not everybody, but I've got a lot of different groups, honestly. I've got people my mom's age that I aim for. I got people who have babies that I aim for. I've got people who I've taught that are in my 20s that I aim for, because I'm going to kill him. Sorry. Yeah. He just turned the TV back on and he's brushing his teeth. Anyways, but I've got different groups that I aim for in different ways. And, the baby group, you can bet, I've said this a million times, I mean, I can relate so much to them. I feel like I can really help them out. I have 4 kids, they're young, and I work out every day. I've never missed a workout in any program I've ever done, you know, and you know, my kids are young and I just get up before they do it. And I feel like I can help them, you know, feel normal again. Because after you have a baby, you don't feel normal, you know, you feel like you're just in a fog for a while. Yeah. So, you know, I feel like I can help them. So just, you want to reach out to people that you can relate to. But Nicole Jones also posted something the other day. I don't know if you guys saw it, about how she started. And
Yeah. Going back to your starting story or why you joined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You have to revisit that. Yeah.
She posted about, she does that quite a bit, but which is very helpful, I think, because a lot of people don't see it. So you can use your post again. But she posted when she was coaching, she said she wanted to reach out. She wanted to figure out 25 people, make a list of 25 people. And this was from the get-go. This wasn't like making connections on Facebook, this and that. It was, what are 25 friends you could reach out to right now? I know when I first started, I hadn't even posted anything yet. And I had at least 10 people who were ready to join with me because I talked. You know, I was at work and I was talking about it. They asked what I'm doing. You know, they saw results because they saw me there. But then I started asking like people that I'm good friends with, you know, not everybody said yes, but I said, hey, I'm starting this challenge in 2 weeks. I'm starting this up again. Do you want to do it with me? You know, it's a lot of fun. I got great results. You're going to feel great. Some of them said yes. Some of them said no. But these people, I didn't do any of this kind of thing with. It was people that I 100% feel comfortable with, just asking. And friends, not crazy close, but if you can think of 25 people between your friends and your family that you can kind of get the ball rolling a little bit, and then you can start as you go through, you know, building on Facebook and stuff like that and making connections there. But definitely that warm market. I mean, there's definitely people I had no problem with just asking out of the blue, hey, I'm doing this. Do you want to do it with me? It's a lots of fun because I'm trying to help them and I wanted them to do it with me because they're a friend of mine or they're a family member, you know? So if you're just getting started, absolutely. That's a great way to start, is just to reach out and talk to people. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's perfect. That you're absolutely right. It gets you confidence, gets you a following, and it gets you believers that will talk about you. Even if they don't want to coach, they're going to recommend their friends. I get so many referrals. That's the best payment you could ever get, is a referral from one of your clients. Like that speaks volumes. And I have 3 people that send me people every month, but they just don't want to be a coach. So half the time I'll send them a gift card. If people sign up, I'll send them like a Target gift card, like 10 or 15 bucks. And I'm just like, thanks so much. You know, it's just thanking them for being a loyal customer and a referral base. So
definitely
lots of ways to do it.
Absolutely.
Well,
no, I mean, just keep talking to people. But and I know, honestly, I was not doing this sheet until the summer. Really. I wasn't filling this out. And there's sometimes I don't feel like filling out. I'm like, I don't need to fill that out. But then I look through, I'm like, oh, I didn't do that yet. I didn't thank people for viewing my story or my post. And that is actually creating a lot of connections that are more meaningful because it's a personal message. Yeah. So, you know, you want to create those connections as well. And, you know, there's all those algorithms and stuff on Facebook and Instagram. And honestly, they're true. Because I mean, I say happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is too. I do. You know, I think people appreciate that. And then I've started talking to people through that as well, just by saying happy birthday. Hey, how are you doing? And then it becomes into a private message. Hey, I see your fitness stuff, you know? So you just never know what's going to turn into it. But I honestly, whenever I go anywhere, which isn't very often lately, but I don't know, it becomes part of the conversation. And that is actually unintentional. It's just something that it's such a part of my life and I love it. And, you know, I was talking to somebody about it at soccer tonight, because it's just such a part of my life. And it keeps me right now. It's keeping my focus and keeping my positivity, because everything else is nuts. So,
I've actually had baseball moms ask me, will I give them a workout while we're at practice?
Oh, wow.
So I think I might do it in the spring. I was like, you know what, Wyatt's still young to be on his own while, you know, Mason's practicing. They play,
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think next year he'll be able to do it. So I might do that and charge them like just a few bucks every session and then be like, you can do this on your own, guys. But
Yeah.
it's that culture, and you're with, once, if you have young kids, once you start getting into the teams as they're older, the kids start playing together longer. Like Mason's baseball team has been together 4 seasons now. So we become like our own little family, and they know me, they watch me, they see what I'm doing, and they may not outwardly ask, but they're at least seeing it, and I'll get like comments, or and then we start talking about it. So, and I wear my gear, like I wear a hoodie, or I've got a t-shirt on, I've got something where I'm not outwardly saying it, but they're seeing it on my shirt. You know
Right.
what I mean? Or I take my
Yeah.
shaker cup with me.
Right. Anything that can get somebody to ask you, hey, what's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always have some kind of shake or drink with me. And that, again, is not even intentional because I'm drinking it and that's what I drink, you know? So that's helpful too. But just anything that you're a part of a group in on Facebook or, you know, anything, Instagram. I mean, anytime, like the class of 2033, I'm friending all those people, you know, I'm friending because they're parents, they're mostly moms of the same age kid as mine, and I'm going to know them for a while.
Yeah.
So friend them on Facebook, they'll friend me back, you know, and they can see what I'm doing. And some people are stay-at-home moms, so they might be looking for something else, like just to have on their own, not because they're not insane or busy, trust me, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, just try to think about, set a goal, think about how much you want to do, because I know, you know, it's crazy right now with school and everything, but you don't want to go from doing really getting really hot in the summer, and then right now it's everything's slowed down a lot, and it's harder right now because people are probably saying to you, it's just so crazy with school right now. But honestly, that is more reason to have that time to yourself. They're just thinking they need more sleep, or they need more time, but you need the time to do this. Like, you need the time to take care of you. Even if you just want to start with meditation, you know, I mean, honestly, there's no way I could just get up and do all the crazy stuff. No way. So, you know, try to always have a response for them. Whenever somebody says no to me, I have a response, and it's not necessarily that they're going to join. I'm not getting in an argument with them, but I have a response with conjunction with what they're telling me. And that's kind of thinking on my feet a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not afraid to send it to them. I'm not just saying, oh, okay, you know. So
Yeah,
if
I do
they
that
say,
too.
I had a girl say that I honestly had a girl who said, I'm getting back into running, I'm going to start with that. And I said, just so you know, we have a running, you know, I
That's the
mean, that's
perfect
one
thing
thing.
for you.
And that's the easy one. But I've had people say, yeah, I just don't have any time to myself. It's just crazy with school. And I said, honestly, I don't have any time to myself except for my workout time. And I don't know what I would do without it, because that makes me feel like I can get through the day. So something like that. I mean, and that's the truth. I'm not trying to, you know, give people false hope. I'm trying to help them out. And, you know, this works for me, and I'm hoping that it works for them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I think to that point, like the timing of like kind of this 5-day group, you don't have to do the free 5-day group, but if you're trying to find a way to add value to your clients or to your prospects, this is a way, because it's completely free. And I think during this time, people are starting to understand, like I said at the start, mental health is so important, and physical health is so important, and it's going to continue to be important as the numbers keep saying. Like, yes, there's underlying issues because of factors that we can control, right? Diabetes, obesity, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, whatever those are things that everyone has control of. We just have to teach them in a way that's not finger pointing. And I think giving them just something small, like, okay, let's just start with getting them up 30 minutes earlier to go sit in a room by themselves and not have anyone talk to them. And maybe they do, like, I'm going to put up Spotify meditations. I'm going to talk about the new meditations dropping in Beachbody On Demand, like giving them all kinds of tools that aren't even just Beachbody. that to say, just sit. And then I'll talk about how I struggle with meditation, but it's taught me just to breathe. Like, you know how many times today Wyatt struggles. He's behind and it kills me. I'm a perfectionist and Mason is so freaking smart and I'm comparing them and him struggling. I just wanted to jump in and do it for him, but I have to let him get it wrong, right? You know, like he has to get it wrong to learn. And I just sat here and I just breathe. I was doing my breathing. I'm like, just take a deep breath. Like, you've got to calm yourself down. And old Marcy would have flown off the handle, but I've learned to calm myself down. At work, when things go wrong, I can calm myself down. So I think if we're giving these tools to people, they're gonna be like, wow, like you helped me just feel better. Like my customer yesterday said that I changed her mindset. She's lost like almost 30 pounds, but she was working out twice a day, 7 days a week, was wondering why she wasn't losing any weight. I got her on lift 4. I mean, you go working out 7 days a week to lift 4, which is 40 minutes a day for 4 days. That's a huge thing. She's like, it was my mindset. You taught me that I didn't have to do that. Like, I didn't have to sell her anything to do that. You know what I mean? It's just conversation and education. So you're constantly educating. Use your stories for education tool. I try to teach on something every day. But try that group. Check it out. I'll post the materials ahead of time. You guys can check it out because I bought them. They're already pre-made. I don't have to make them. Because that's the point of my life. I'm deciding as a coach, you know what, Marcy? I can't do it all. I can buy tools to help me instead of me spending hours on graphics, right? You have to figure out where your time can go. And can I spare 25 bucks a month? Yeah, I'll write it off for my business expenses. I'm making it back because that ROI, return on investment, from using them is significant. So don't kill yourself. I used to, trust me, I used to, but now I'm like, there's a 15-star elite coach using the same freaking marketing materials. I'm like, it must work. Like, and she pays the 25 bucks, I can pay 25 bucks. But I can share those materials. Like, if you're a new coach, I don't expect you to go out and do that, right? But we'll share those materials with you and just wing it. Wing it. We wing it all the time. But I know it's 9 o'clock. Sharon, do you have anything before I cut off? I don't want to not answer any questions. No?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming. And for those of you that have to watch this playback, here's a little tough love. The shit is hard. We're in a really hard freaking season. Take care of yourself first and take care, at a minimum, you better be taking care of those customers that said yes to you, because remember, it's the transformation we're working towards. It's not the sale. It's going to be really hard to show up some days. Trust me, I struggle. We have to show up. I need you to think outside of yourself for a minute and be like, whose life can I change today? Whose life can I potentially change? And let that drive you. Because people need us more than ever. And you're seeing it, we're hearing it. I mean, there's all these other wellness companies popping up, but they don't have coaches. They don't have someone. There's a hair company. I use the shampoo, Monet. They're coming out with a health line, which is mind-blowing to me that they would be coming. I get collagen, hair and nails, but they've got an energy thing. They've got a de-stressor. I'm like, you're shampoo people.
Yeah.
At Beachbody, we do fitness, nutrition, and now we're helping mindset, which is part of fitness and nutrition. That's all we do. Like, you will never get, I don't think we'll ever get hit like out of the blue with some random ass product that doesn't fit that mold, because that's not our scope. So I saw that today and I was like, that makes no sense to me. I would not buy that product. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a health company. But just do your thing, guys. Just do your thing. Reach out to your coach. If you are struggling, tell us. We're going to ask you for your tracker. I'm just being honest. If you want help, you've got to show that you want to do the work and you're tracking. And maybe it's not the paper format, but maybe you're tick marking. We're going to say, we want to see it to know that you're ready to do the work so we can give you our time. And that's okay. Because we do that. I do that with my clients. If you don't show me you're doing the work, I'm not going to sit on the phone with you for half an hour and hear you complain about how things don't work. And I'm just very honest with them, because our time is important. Our time is so important right now. So I hope this helps. Watch the playback, get your tracker, I'm going to run a challenge in October. So you better start getting used to that tracker now because it's going to be a good one. And let's just do it. We can do it. Let's finish the year strong. You can do this. Hell, we've made it through March. We got this far. We have 3 more months that we can finish strong. You've got Control Freak just sitting there waiting. So you've got something coming. You better, if they don't say yes now, you're building that pipeline for Control Freak in January. Because this January is going to be ridiculously insane, I think. As people are like, okay, that all happened. I'm ready to go. So build the pipeline now.
No, they better have extra equipment this time
I know.
and recover, because this is going to be nuts. I can tell you right now. I mean, yeah, anybody who says no now, they're going to say yes then.
Yeah.
And it's going to be December, really. I mean, they're going to be sending up.
I hope they better open that like December 4th for customers to buy and have it ready. Then we can all start January 13th or whatever.
Whatever the day is.
But you're right. Like they're gonna, because they're gonna show up. They're gonna say yes because you're continuing to show up when no one else is. You're showing up in your post. You're showing up in your stories. You're showing up in their inbox, whatever that may be, asking them to join. So they're gonna be like, well, shit, she didn't stop. He didn't stop. Now I know that they'll take care of me for the rest of the year. All right, we're out.
Yep.
Go get some sleep, people. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Michelle. I'll get this recording up.
See ya. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.